think I'm ready to start. Shall I pin that row? Okay, I will just pin the new row, which is right there. Okay, did you receive the pin? Nice. Okay. Yeah, so this is what I get. And I think I already tested the PCB, so we probably don't need to test again. And let's just see how the underglow looks. Yeah, I may just disable that somehow because it could be too much lighting going on. So we will first see. So this is still the Mintley prototype, yeah, because we don't have too many prototypes right there. So let's check out the lighting tab and see if we can turn it on. I think it could be the underglow. Is that the one? Okay, yes. So you can see it light up. Yeah, I'm super excited to see this one in VR already. And name is called BS65 Ergo. Right on the name. Yeah, you know, like the one fun fact, I think earlier on when Jackie told me about translation for his post, especially for the IC post, I was like, well, everything looks fine, but I don't know if it should be a 60% because technically it has the arrow key, and 60% sometimes don't have the arrow key. So I was suggesting maybe we should get a 65% to make it more clear. And I hope this works. Yeah, it makes much clear that this is Ergo 65%. So the plate we have today is still this PC plate, and it's really flex. And I think I will probably get the plate file from Jackie and try to make some FR4 plate so I can test and make some typing sound. And I probably will make more than one. So technically, if I find that FR4 plate work well with several switches, I can directly sell the in-stock item, maybe limited for people, and do the same process and set larger batch. So this is the PC plate, and I will probably just upfront the cost and try to see if I can make some FR4 plate cut. Yeah, it will be my first time cut, so I don't want to collect any payment from people because it could be failure. I never know. So this is the prototype we already see in streams, but we were still building the same one again. Yeah, FR4, I will probably just Hey, Hazel. Hey, Pew Pew Laser. Good afternoon. So we have this beer 65% Ergo layout. We have the arrow cluster here. And we have the beer engraving. So let's see how the lighting can show that. Oh, it's actually very hard to see. Okay, it's actually very subtle. It's really hard to see. Oh yeah, this angle. Okay. So if you really want to infill that, we have pretty much a lot of guides to do that. Okay. And this is still the prototype, so the weight is not the production version, and we still have this teal color weight. So that if you see any unit out there for sale, I bet there will never be a sale unit for sale like that. But if you see this one, it's the prototype, and I don't think I will ever sell this one. Thanks for the follow, Aritica. Okay, so we will let's do the unbox first, then start doing the Millmax PCB. Thanks for follow, Notch Bomber. So we will check. We don't need to unscrew the weight. Okay, so it's hex. We will try to find the right screw. So I always had hard time to find the right screw. Thanks for the follow, Twist Roger. Not Roger. Rogue? Okay, is this one? No. Could be the other one. So I like the hex more than the Phillips because it will last. Yep, so for this prototype, we still have only the polycarbonate plate. But also, I will try to cut certain FR4 plates. So first, I can test myself and show people how that sounds. Second, for people who want to get FR4 plate right after they get beer, if those extra FR4 plate I made will work, I can directly sell that to people at cost maybe. And hopefully FR4 plate will be easy to make, because I know for certain small group buy of chrome plate, it's just easy to make mistake, or maybe like the tolerance will be problem. Okay, so it's a little bit longer. Let me check if I have the right screw for that. Okay, I get the screws. Screwdriver head, that's good. So personally, I'm a huge fan of FR4 plate. That's why I always eager to cut FR4 plate right after I get the keyboard, and most of the time people get the file and they know how to cut FR4 plate from the manufacturer. So I usually just like join the group buy, and maybe this time I will start doing some. Don't regret getting the aluminum plate. I think FR4 plate and aluminum plate are the two plate I really like in terms of sound. Okay, so we can take a look. So we have the screwy screws. They are for the weight. So the screwdriver is the, yeah, that's right, that's the Xiaomi Web stick, and I get it from Amazon. And we can see for all the gasket, they are Poron gasket, and we have 8 of them. And for the top case, we also have the corresponding gasket on all 8 of them. So in the production version, we will have some alignment pins so that you will easily, I mean not easily, but probably will be easier to put the plate onto this gasket. So on this version, you need some alignment work. And also there's another feedback on the earlier stream. Okay, let me put this one aside. So when you put the plate onto the case, yeah, it will kind of like wobble a little bit. So you can potentially get some small gaskets and you can put on the side. So on one left side, on one right side, and maybe if you want to get like on the top or bottom, you can also do that. So it won't shift left and right. So that could be something you want to do, that you can do. So it will basically do similar work as how Vega or Polarized does on the side. And I don't think I have, yeah, I mean, you can do that. It's just like by doing some customization. And I think I have some Polarized extra gasket and the Vega gasket, so I probably can do that if I find alignment still the problem, or maybe there's some attachment from left or right. But overall, like if you really look at how this plate secured on those points, it won't really hit the side. So it's mostly a little bit movement, but it won't really hit the side. So I don't see you really need that. Maybe the only thing is on the side, when you press the key, it has less support. So you probably feel like a little bit more wobble on the side. Yeah, I see this feedback already gets passed to Jackie early time, so there were already some improvement, and we will see what the improvement on. Okay, so let's put back the case. We will probably do that later. Okay. So anyway, the good part of this stream is I can just put my beer onto my desk and do the hot swap, the Millmax work. And we can chat about anything related to the beer. Good question. I haven't, and luckily I have everything that I need to wait. So let's do it before putting anything together. Thanks for follow, J10JT. So the beer is actually in the anode phase, and the one you saw in the Discord server, they are not anodized yet. They are not silver color. I think, yeah, I would always forget whether we got the silver or we got the like gray. Is that gray we got in the group buy? Let's move out the desk mat. So remember one thing, the production unit will have the brass weight by default, and this one is still the aluminum weight, so this will be probably less weight. So guinea pig cam, I was still trying to set up, and I just need more USB extension cord, or maybe like just in general the USB-C port. Okay, so let's check out only in the bottom. So it weighed 2.11 ounce, or in another way 1,222 gram. Yes, I think the production version will be a little bit more heavy, and adding the top case, it's 1,581 gram, or 3.8 ounce. So that's before adding everything together. And the production version will be heavier than this one because of the weight, but you can also get other color of weight. Yeah, I hope the process takes less time, but in general, I prefer the quality over, the speed, because I can always have some boards in the meantime. Maybe that's just me. That may not reflect you. But also, I don't want like bad things happen to the quality, then I have to ask for replacement. Yeah, I think beer is really heavy overall. Okay, so I probably won't Millmax the whole board because I'm fine like soldering most of the boards, but I probably want to just Millmax the alpha area so that I can swap all the switches and do different sound tests. So that's what I will do. And actually this PCB were already soldered before, so I'm not sure if I can still use the Millmax socket. So let's just do some test run on the Millmax socket. So I'm using the 7305. Yeah, I'm not sure whether this would work because the PCB were just like desoldered before. Okay, looks like the hole is big enough, but some switch hole has a little bit extra solder that stopped me from inserting. So this could be a little bit problematic. That's why like sometimes you always want to have clean solder, desolder. Okay, let me check how close the other side is. Okay, I think it's doable. Yeah, it just some part doesn't have very clean solder, desolder. And in production version, if you choose the hot swap PCB, you don't need to do anything like this one. I'm just trying to do some Millmax socket work on the alpha area that I can do more sound tests much easier, because I don't want to always desolder, solder if I want to test like 8 different switches, let's say. Yeah, I just have all kinds of switches I plan to build on different keyboard, but none of them were here yet. If they were here, I want to Millmax the PCB as well, so I just can test different, then land on one for certain boards, because you know, for each board you could have a best combination and you never know before you can try all. And by listening to other like typing sound video may not be the true representation, but also my video will not be like what you will hear in real life, but I will try to make as close as possible, and also you can kind of get the comparison between different switch, so that when you really like hear the sound comparison, you know that's compared to other switches overall. Yes, thank you. I was so happy about winning last night, and yesterday was my lucky day on the keyboard history. 1 keyboard win, 2 Artisan raffle win. But my wallet really hurts. But better than spending on the aftermarket. Though I am, thanks for follow. Thank you for chiming in and watch this one. Yeah, for sure. If you don't really get prepared, you'll probably always spend more than you think. Thanks for follow, Keto Kiss. So I'm currently doing Millmax on the alpha area. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to switch to different. Thanks for subscription. Okay, so let me okay, what do I want to do? Let me check what happened. Yeah, interestingly, last week I was still trying to see what switches and what keycaps to put on this one. And the interesting part of doing this board is we always have one area to put your Artisan, and I don't have any Artisan by that time. But this week I won 3 Artisan. So I probably can even fill the left side. We have 3 here. But I only got 1 now. Okay, I just want to check the beer layout. Yeah, so I now need my 4th Artisan so I can fill all the corners of this board. Yeah, I don't want to be too greedy, but that's what feels really good. Okay, 5 and 5. Okay, so we will do the Q later because of the solder remaining on that spot. So what I will do is insert the hot swap socket and then use the tape to tape the whole row so it can prevent it from like getting it out, and then solder them together. And because it's alpha area, so there's no other possibility that you don't really need a key switch to hold that in place. And if it's in some mods area that it has a larger hole than just the socket itself, usually you need to have a switch, test switch to put on so that it will stay in the right spot. By the way, is this too dark for the stream? I can kind of turn on a little bit. Because I definitely see, yeah. Okay, let me try to make it brighter. Okay, should be better now. Yeah, the problem of Millmax socket is they are so small. Sometimes I don't even know if I grab them or not, or even just like where are they if I lost them. Thank you, yeah, hopefully this is better. Yeah, I think I just started using my camera to do the stream since my camera came back from my parents, and that will probably like just these 2 weeks. So I'm still trying to find how to set up that, and also like how to set up overhead camera. And I know yesterday I watched Teha's video how to set up his studio, and that's so expensive. So I probably want to find a right investment solution on that. Yeah, I am not that professional yet. Yeah, and also how much lighting he got. I think I just used the room light and it's definitely not enough for now. Yeah, let me check if I can get more natural light. And also I think his room is really large. Probably when he moved with his parents, he mentioned like the need of a big room to stream. Yeah, technically I'm not in my bedroom now as well. So I have more room to put all kinds of keyboard material without stepping on them at night. So on my floor, there are plenty of boxes with keyboard stuff. And definitely not good feeling when you step on some small things. And I think I lost a lot of screws or some Millmax sockets on the floor and I cannot really see them. Yeah, I think my current endgame board, I don't know which one it will be, but I really want to have the Andromeda. But I just didn't really get luck, and I know there will be R2, but that could be the board that I cannot wait for R2. But otherwise, I think this beer prototype, actually the production unit, will definitely be on my collection that I will not sell. And the new Iron 165 Round 2 I get will also be something I will keep, probably not forever, but like longer enough that I can test all kinds of plates and maybe different weight and batch combo. Yeah, I like the board with a lot of possibilities. That's why when this beer has so many options of plates, I'm super happy. And another thing is, if it doesn't have the FR4 plate, you can always cut later. So that's also nice. And I think I also entered the group buy of Sync, and I don't think they have other plates than FR4. And also there were some problems on the plate tolerance, and I don't feel like that's something such big group buy should happen. Okay, so there are some switches that's hard to get a socket in. I will probably do that a little bit later time. What tactile switch you own so far? So I have the Holy Panda and also the U4 Saki, U4T. I don't really have the Bowie Black, and I don't really plan to get that. It's just because of the review I see, they are not much better than Holy Panda. They probably just have different preference if you want to have. And I think I'm really happy about Holy Panda, so I don't really get a strong motivation to try other things, but U4T is really good value. And also they sound nice. Okay, let me get the tape. Let me reply to one. Okay, let's see. So I probably will also want to add a socket on the spacebar, because that's also something you will always hit. So when you do a sound test, it will be there. So if you put the tactile switch on PC layout or PC plate, well, that flex a lot, and the tactile feeling will not be super good, because you basically have like two stage. One is after the tactile switch bump happen, the other is when you bottom out and you keep pressing that, and the plate will press a little bit. But it's always good to try that out with the different sound signature. And I will probably try the U4T on this PC plate and see how that works. Maybe it's not as bad as I think. Okay, let's see if I can get one more in any of this. Hey, Miss Frosty. Yeah, for plates, usually if you want to make like, you know, POM and FR4, it will be easy. Just do a group buy with other customers together, because usually they charge a reasonable amount of money for at least 5 to 10. So you can bring down the cost easily to like $25 to $35. But if you want to get brass plate or aluminum plate, it will be a little bit higher cost because they are metal. So if I can get the brass plate from the GB, I usually just get that. And for effort for a prom, I will be fun getting that later on. But if you try to just get one, or maybe you don't really live in an area that a lot of people want to get such, it will be a little bit harder. So let me get a scissor for the tape. So I wonder, for people who do Millmax socket before, are you guys just using the default tape, or do you try to get a thinner tape? Because I'm just using the default one and I'm not sure I should try to get a thinner one. Like how much benefit you will get. So this beer board will come with the PCB desoldered, so I don't really need to do that. But today I'm trying to just Millmax socket the alpha area and like solder other parts, so that I can swap out the alpha area with other switches and do some switch testing. So this tape, I can basically use that as a band-aid mode. I mean, technically you can use Millmax socket on any PCB, but it just takes a little bit more effort than normal soldering. And the gain you get is basically you can swap out different PCB, different switch. But also if you already settle on your switch, you don't really need to do this one. It's more like you are not sure which switch you want to get, or maybe you just want to test out different switch, like what I do today. I mean, not today, but in the next few days or few weeks, I will probably try different switch for people who get into the beer group buy and want to know what switch to choose over time. Oh, really? Okay, yeah. Technically, it's not always the case that it can work. So beer, like elephant, is just like large on any point. Oh, not large, but the switch hole, the switch pinhole would be small. Yeah, I think the new one is fine. Most of the time they have the same new standard. And also, how old is the Elephant R1 now? Okay, so we have most of the alpha area covered, that we can start doing some Millmax solder. Okay, so let me put my beer PC plate and also the beer case back to this nice box so I don't really hurt them while I'm doing soldering. And I need to turn my stacks into the solder station. And also I probably need to get some water so I can hydrate. Yeah, I will share after I get the water. I wonder if you can see her now. Okay, let's see what happened to my camera. So her name is Oreo because she had, her head as black, her tail as black, and also her body is just white. So that's her name, where her name comes from. And she's already 5-year-old, so pretty senior guinea pig. And we actually got from my friend. She went back to China for her ByteDance career, not like literally making video on ByteDance, but working for a ByteDance company. And she cannot find a good owner, and until she know I had interest doing that. And then my friend just kind of gave me Oreo, and then I started to learn how taking care of guinea pig is. And sometimes I feel like it's very easy job, sometimes it's really hard, because it's easy as long as she's pooping, like she's in good shape. But the problem is whenever she's not pooping for days, you don't know what happened, and you have no way to figure out the solution for that. Yeah, so once we had small problem on her, and we have to take her into the vet. And then because of the vet usually don't take like working, they usually take appointments. And then I end up like finding one that's available like with an hour drive. Wow. So be careful, sometimes they will have too many baby that you cannot take care later. A guinea pig is really cute, and sometimes they don't remember you, but you know, like you won't hurt their feeling. That's the part. So it's basically like double-sided sword. Yeah, like when they are small, they are really cute. And what you need to do daily is just like changing the water and add more like hell and changing the bed, and they don't really know where to poop, so you have to train, but I don't think I get a chance to train her well. So I just gave up most of the time. I will blame my friends, but like she's cute enough that I don't want to blame too much. Yeah, by the way, for this prototype PCB, the switch hole is a little bit larger, that the socket won't really sit secured in. That's why like making this tape will definitely help. Or if you are using switches to sit them in, that also helps, but I just don't want to have all the switches inserted already. So one thing that Millmax is not friendly is about like if you get solder into the socket. That's hard to get it out. So my recommendation is to take time and do one at a time and be careful about it, so you don't end up like taking time to desolder sockets. Yeah, I'm glad I can get the chance to take this prototype and use it to generate several typing tests for people. Yeah, I think when I get that one, I was a little bit worried about I cannot utilize it well because most of people could get it already. Like original schedule was around Chinese New Year, so I get that around Chinese New Year as well. And since I got that before most of people now, I want to really utilize it. Thanks for follow. So currently I'm still doing the Millmax sockets for the alpha area that I can swap the switches. Okay, so most of the solder were done, but I still have several holes that's not cleared, which I cannot really do any Millmax socket yet. So I wonder maybe I should just get a solder pump to get some solder out. Okay, let me try if I can insert more socket as of now. Also, it's a little bit hot. I need to open the window. Yeah, it's really nice weather outside today. I didn't really feel any cold. I hope the people in Texas get much better weekend than previous weekends or even previous week. Okay, let's check it out, see if we can get more sockets in. Yeah, I think this stream will last for a while. So take your time for dinner and come back and see if I'm still streaming, because this will including socketing, adding the socket, lubing steps, and doing other soldering work, and finally keycaps and sound test. Maybe just using the socket to do different switches together. So it could be a fairly long stream for people who want to check out how the BS sounds and look. I mean, you probably cannot see how it looks now because I'm just doing the soldering. So yeah, feel free to do whatever you want as of now and come back anytime. And also I will record sound tests on my YouTube channel, so you won't miss anything even you don't get the chance to watch this stream, the full stream. Okay, it's really frustrating, even a little bit solder will stop the socket from inserting. Okay, so the case. So this is the case. We have the top case. Okay, don't want to drop this one. So we have the top case that has the right top corner for the Artisan or for any keys you want. We have the arrow key, arrow cluster. We have the natural Alice layout alpha area. That's what I'm Millmaxing. And also the traditional 3 keys column on left side. And we have 8 gasket mount plate that you can basically put on your plate and use the gasket mount. And the bottom case, basically the matching gasket, and also the weight. Yeah, they are Poron gasket. Actually, I don't know if the production version will include both Poron and silicone, because for maybe like PC plates, Poron could be too much flex that you might want to use silicone. So that could be an option that even you can do yourself with some silicone. So enough teeth, I need to keep adding more sockets. And not a problem if you have to step aside and come back later. I should be here for a while. I know my speed of soldering on Millmax socket is not the fastest. Yeah, I think the white color is really nice. Okay, we have this too. So for this BS65%, the designer Jackie never did any extra sale before, and for this one it's hard to say we will have a board extra or not, but I definitely see he's selling like the PCB and plate extra if there's still left after, you know, like customer service. So in short, it's hard to predict whether it will have any boards extra. Probably less chance than any other traditional group buy. So your best looking is for whoever bought two and they may not the other one, and see whether they will sell a reasonable price, and I cannot really predict the market. So there's always next one if you really want to something nice. And Jackie had the next one piggy 60%. So if you are interested into that, that's another like interesting option. If you were joining the Discord, actually, command Discord. Yeah, I have this Discord. If you were not here, you probably can join this Discord and watch for my updates for that. So currently I don't really have Discord, and if you want to just joining this Discord channel, you should be able to follow Jackie's design project. And if you want to just follow my stream, I should have updates there as well. Actually, I forgot to update this one because I just put on the general gear channel. And whoever missed the elephant and don't want to pay 1,000 on Mac Market, and if you like that bulky bezel, you basically can get this piggy. I mean, they are not same layout, but they are the same designer with the same quality of board. So piggy 60, that's the one. Okay, so should be fine. Let's see whether everything were working and stick. Okay, one more. I forget one. It's always easy to forget. Well, I technically have another board that I forget one solder joint, so maybe just let me do it quickly. So what other boards like layout are you looking for if you were not getting this beer in time? Because I know there are plenty of options that I can recommend, and if you were not like, okay, wait, what's happened to my camera again? Yeah, maybe it's overheat. Technical difficulty all the time. So for the beer, this is like 65% Ergo layout, and I believe on the market there are other options that's available. Okay. So one thing I know like really popular is called AV3, and that one we're running limited group buy before, and it was a little scuffed sale. Oh yeah, so on 165, if you lose that, don't spend aftermarket money on that because it will be too much, unless you can find good deal from your friends. If there's any friends you have that are willing to sell at around cost or maybe a little bit higher, but I will not recommend getting that for the aftermarket price like 1,000 or 2,000. And also there are plenty boards that has the corner block that may not look like or maybe have the similar feeling. So one thing very popular coming out soon is the Fuji 65. I don't know if you heard about that. Okay, so this one is really stuck. I need to figure out how. Hey, good afternoon. How are you doing? Are you coming here to watch the beer build stream? Or do you just come by and see what's available here? Oh yeah, good evening if you are East Coast or even in Europe. Okay, it's probably midnight for Europe people. But yeah, good evening. 3 a.m. Okay, where are you? UK? Carta, wow. I have some international friends now. Brazil, wow. I never know. Okay, people out there on the world watching this one. But yeah, in general, I think this keyboard hobby really makes me understand like globalization. Yeah, basically like how you can get things from outside the States and how people who come from like around the world try to buy things from United States, China, Korean, Australia. So originally I only buy things from Amazon, mostly like the US store, and I never know there's other option out there because they are either inconvenient, I don't want to spend time and money on that, or they don't offer different options anyway. But after entering into this hobby, I know, okay, when things become limited, it matters when you have some research and know what to do and where to get right things. So at first I started the hobby by getting things from China, from KB Defense. Okay, one more. I know I always miss like 1 or 2 solder joints if possible. Yeah, and after that I start getting the keyboard from the US vendor because they start getting available. Like the first one I get, well, what the first keyboard? Yes, I think the first keyboard after Tofu I get is the Prime KB Prime E, and that's the PCB they are selling. And then I have to get some case, so I get a 3D print case, which is super nice, by the way. And that P3D case from the P3D store, like the 3D case were just incredible quality. And the typing sound is just so good that I don't think like I realize how much difference Tofu can be with other keyboard. So then the next one I was getting is actually this beer. So I'm like, okay, I want to get gasket keyboard. And interestingly, beer was happening while I was still learning everything, and I'm like, okay, gasket sounds nice, I want to get that. And because of the experience of Prime E, I really like the gasket, and it definitely become my favorite mounting. And I think I haven't tried anything other than tray and gasket at that point. And people usually just go from tray mount to top mount. And last year was probably like the blooming year for all kinds of gasket mount boards. So before I can get this beer, I actually spent some money on the aftermarket to get the polarized. Actually, it's not true. I basically like try to sell my Vega and also buy a polarized so I can kind of perform the trade. Yeah, all kinds of gasket board, I was like really happy about that. Okay, let me just grab a bunch of switches that I didn't solder in so I can test whether they work or not. Where's my, okay, I got a bag of polarized. So which one is better, polarized or Vega? So technically they are like the brothers or sisters, so there's a little bit difference between them two. So one is about okay, what happened to this one? So one thing is about the seamless design. So Vega has the seamless bottom, so from the looking it definitely looks much better because you don't have the screws from the bottom. But personally I don't really see that's like a huge improvement, because whenever you change, like you want to change the plate, you have to also remove the switch, so you can remove the screws from the top. So that's like how it's not easy to do when you have seamless bottom design. And also if you want to experiment on how many case layer you want to put, a case form layer, you have to do that as well. So that is painful. And while I'm trying my polarized, I basically can just unscrew the bottom case, slide in the case form or remove the case form and test it. So it will be much easier process when I have that screw bottom option. So that's one part. And from the sound, they basically sound identical for most of the area, like the alpha area, all the mods, but the Vega Aero cluster sometimes sounds weird. I think one reason is because it has the standoff when I was using the stock aluminum plate, and it gets much better when I use the FR4 plate, because I don't really use standoff when I'm using FR4 plate. So yeah, that's one thing. Basically the trade-off between hot swap versus solder. So solder, if you don't need to use standoff, the whole PCB and the plate will more commonly like evenly sit, so that whenever you have the PCB sit into the case, the sound is more consistent. And Vega, if you were just typing on the alpha area, it's not a huge problem, but when you type on the Aero cluster, it's quite inconsistent if you hear closely. So that's one thing I feel like, yeah, if I try to get a solder PCB for Vega, maybe it will solve the problem. So maybe that's the next thing I will do after I receive the solder PCB from the group buy. It will be my option to see if that can provide different sound consistency versus the hot swap PCB. Yeah, so for 60%, polarized group buy price is it's $265 shipping, including shipping, and that was like the best deal you can ever find for a gasket mount keyboard from AIO3. But I think that's also because it's early keyboard from him, so he actually lost money on that run. That's why like the price was not that reasonable from the designer perspective. I mean, from customer perspective, the lower price the better, right? And after that, he basically tried to make sure the price was well positioned. So for Vega, it makes more sense. And also for the polarized extra price, it becomes $309 before shipping. And I think my friend grabbed one with shipping to US of $24. So in total, it's $333. Yeah, I think he lost money on that because you just priced too little on the product, and also the brass weight failure rate is so high, and they have to reject a lot of components so they can keep the QC up, and that generates a lot of failed units, and they cannot really deliver, so they have to double, maybe not double, but like just produce twice of the weight that they need and QC those units so that they can fulfill all the group buy. Yeah, that was kind of a little bit sad story for like polarized. If everything went well, it's like continuous running, reasonable priced, high quality gasket mount keyboard. But because of the brass choice, it's get much harder to produce solid options. That's why Vega actually changed to the stainless steel, which has less failure rate. Okay, so what we will do is trying to test all the alpha keys and space and see if that works, so we can kind of conclude this session. Okay, let's see the VIA interface and let's test one by one. So all of them were soldered with Millmax socket. So if all of them work, then my job is almost done today. So 19, 24. Okay, nice. Now I have a PCB that I can swap different alpha area switches that I can give you guys all the content that you want. This will definitely turn out really good. Like the quality of the board, the gas key mount, and also like the Ergo layout is kind of the combination of all my favorite parts. Yeah, back to the topic of polarized versus Vega. So if you were getting a polarized today, usually the price is around 500 to 600. And if you want to get a Vega, it's around 600 to 700. So it depends on if you can find a good deal. Like they are very close, and most of the part that making the decision for you is about layout you want. So if you really want the arrow key, you probably have to go Vega, but I would say it's still a little bit overpriced, but it's just like the nice board that people keep. That's why there's much less availability on the market to drive the price higher. But if you can wait, you can probably wait until the summer, like June and July, to get the extra unit from Vega. And for polarized, you have another chance of getting the last batch of the extra from KB Defense, but I think you want to find out yourself because the information is really like sparse. There's no central place to say like where you can get the polarized extras again, and also how much is it and when to get that. So it's all on your own now. So there will be an extra, but they don't really release anything until now, and I will see possibility of KB Defense just running them at random time on random day, and even the designer AI03 doesn't really know when it will going to be released, so that will be harder for people to really grab that. Yeah, so that's what I heard. Okay, so the next thing I will do for this build is to lube the stabilizers, and actually I got the stabilizers from mostly from the E7 V2 prototype I desoldered the other day. So probably I only need to lube one more because I'm going to build the split backspace layout. So let's just put all the others on first. So what we will go is the left shift. Yeah, that's the one. I'm not going to use ISO layout. Yeah, I would say if you are not chasing like the exclusivity or maybe certain like looking, polarized could be an end game for your 60%. That's what I felt when I get that. Okay, I need to close this via window. Yeah, likely I will keep that forever, and also I can have the comparison up when I finish this board, technically they won't be very close comparison because one is FR4 half plate and the beer will be PC plate. But still, two boards were gasket mount, and we can kind of see how they compare in other regarding, like maybe the flexibility or other things, that's if you care about that. So the next one will be the enter key. The same thing, I'm not using any ISO. And this prototype then provides ISO layout as well. Actually, do we provide ISO layout for production PCB? I don't recall. So that's up to people to find out as well. So the next one, I'm not going to use any large backspace, so it will be the spacebar. So the left spacebar and right spacebar. Okay, I haven't screwed the enter one yet. So what the color of beer is everyone getting? If you are getting one, or if you want to buy one from aftermarket even. White. Yeah, white is like good for any keycaps. I have so many keycaps that can work with white. I don't see any problem on the compatibility for the keycaps. And this prototype unit is also white, so you will be able to see how it looks nicely. So I personally get another PC because I just want to get a PC board. I don't really have a PC board yet. So the only other close one I get previously were the tofu acrylic, and I won't say they are really close because one is CNC polycarbonate and the other one is just the acrylic frosted. Yeah, this will be really exciting board to get and try. And even for this like prototype, which is not as good as close to the production unit, I'm still very excited about it. I mean, designer usually spend a lot of time and effort on the prototype as well. So I want to really treat this well and get a lot of keyboard typing sounds for you guys. Yeah, and nowadays, like, you cannot really sell a keyboard without any prototype because it's not hard to get prototyped, and also it's hard to prove you can have a good board without prototype. So prototype is like necessary to do. So the other day we were like trying to use the Q file to get a fake additional round of private goodbye Q, and the problem is the file was scuffed. So technically you cannot really use that file. So we were trying to see if we can get a prototype run first. And that already costs a lot of fortune. So any like private run or small group buy, it will be very expensive just because of the prototype you were doing. And there were designers who were trying to run private group by giving out the prototype unit, and people call it scam. So that's something like you have to upfront costs. It's not likely you can sell the prototype. Or you should not, because that's like the research investment. So after all, when we gather like 10 people for that queue private group buy, it will be around like $600 for the version of like aluminum case and brass weight and breastplate. So that's not like very expensive regarding how you can get similar quality of the board, but we are not sure. Like there's so many uncertainty about that, so it's likely turn out to be bad. And I don't know how I can guarantee that without a prototype, but any prototype on that will be additional cost. So we kind of just put the face on that. So you see, yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, their price, like retail price is also high, but the aftermarket price is extremely high because there's not many units. And at the time, it were kind of like just collectors. Okay, I need the PC plate now. So maybe what I will do is not really using all the silk yellow switch because they were desoldered. So I will use them on all the non-alpha and non-spacebar, because for whatever I already Millmaxed, I want to use clean switch. I don't want to ruin my socket by putting a desoldered switch. So yeah, let's just put all the switches in onto the right spot. So it may end up with different looking on alpha area and non-alpha area. So let's see what switch do we want to put together today. Maybe you guys can tell me what switches you want to hear. Yeah, silk yellow could be a little bit higher pitch. Okay, so let's see what I have and see what people really want. So I will be able to do the Hyperglide. For lavender, I don't really have lubed right now, so probably harder to do. Yeah, I wish I can have the lavender. I can do ink black, I can do Hyperglide, I can do I don't want to do tactile just today. And I have just general like alpaca switch. So I actually got some Hyperglide from my friends just this week, and I looped some up so I can do Hyperglide. Yeah, so let's just do Hyperglide then. Like it's a switch that I feel like the sound is nice, and if it's not scratch as just the retool, well, scratch won't really describe retool. I think inconsistent smoothness could be the better word. So in general, Hyperglide here is providing better consistency over the like of the smoothness. So I will try that. Okay, yeah, I think you will get back with the typing test in time, because I'm just like doing really chill building today. I don't try to rush. Yeah, since like I used to do a stream that at the time I either need to sleep or need to go for dinner, but today I just do the stream a little bit earlier. And then I realized, okay, how many international audience we have here. So thank you for guys to chime in and chat with me from all around the world. And if you remember like my Discord or just like follow on Twitch, if you need to go sleep, feel free. So what I will do usually for a stream is, after the stream, I will try to clip the typing sound and also put the highlight there so it won't get like removed from my history. And then I will try to upload the VOD to YouTube so you can still watch again. And also I will try to make a YouTube video just for this keyboard with the switch I put on the stream, so that it will be much more delicate video for that. And then if I can get a chance to do other switches, I will try to put a series of video after it, so that you can kind of compare other switches with this one. So yeah, like if you want to watch, hang out, chat, I think chat is very important. Like if you want Hyperglide today, I will do Hyperglide today. So that's something you cannot really do off the stream. But yeah, like if you really have to go, don't really like ruin your sleep or ruin your dinner or ruin your social life with other people who you care. But if you have some time, just come here and chat with me. Okay, so I think, did I miss any switches other than Alt Alpha and spacebar? Yeah, I think I got everything. Cool, let's do the solder job. So yeah, for people who were asking about the PC beer, even though they don't really need to do any like anodization on the color, because they were just like CNC'd, they won't ship soon, because we have parts that not coming yet. Not we, I heard from Jackie. I didn't really work that closely with him, but I kind of try to get up-to-date information. Okay, let me hydrate. Cool, let's do the solder work now. So even I get the PC beer, I won't get sooner than any of you guys. And for this prototype, I'm just doing all like videos for you guys. Yeah, even I can type on that. I will try to type on the configuration that you really want, and also make a FR for plate and see how that works. And at that time, I probably need to desolder on this one. Just curious about PCB, do you think putting pressure will stress the USB port? Yeah, that's a good question. So over time, if you were trying to like type really like aggressively, it could even break the PCB USB port. So that's something like I was trying to see whether it could have improvement of like using daughter board. But I think Jackie mentioned it will be much more process to change the design in the middle of a group buy. And so it basically provides you multiple different like gaskets. So the recommendation is for PC, you probably better use the silicone gasket. So it already provide you enough gaskets like isolation, and also it won't flex that much to put too much pressure on USB-C port. And for other plates, since they are not that soft on the plate material, it's fine to just use the pour-on gasket. So that's what the solution or tentative solution could be. Hey, you come back. Yeah, so what we do is we Millmax the alpha area that I can use different switch, and then I just solder all the area outside. Hi Connor. Welcome to the Twitch stream of Zone Studio. I'm building a beer 65% Ergo layout. And really happy you were trying to make such video, which is really nice. And also if you want to follow like what other boards I'm building in the future, and just come to say hi, and I should be here like pretty often, so if you want to follow, feel free. But again, yeah, hi Connor. Yeah, I think splitting the solder job into Millmax the alpha and also solder other modifier is actually very interesting. I feel like I need to solder much less, but also I had higher chance to miss any solder joints. But it's just getting much more fun when I'm doing this one. And also one thing about the Ergo layout is like, yeah, sometimes you don't really know which row you are on when you are soldering, so you have to be careful a little bit. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the community is growing, and I like to build more keyboards. Okay, so now it's time to check if I soldered everything. Okay, it's hard to see. I will probably just check myself. yeah, it's easy to just connect to the USB-C port, and again use the veer to test that. Hey, welcome back. I just finished the solder and doing another round of testing for the switches I soldered in, so we can see whether they are all good or still miss any solder joint, which I apparently did over the other keyboard I was building, and I actually sneaked that into this stream. So it's like Easter egg. Okay, looks like all good. Yeah, sometimes you just missed keys, you never know. Okay, so in this case we will use the Hyperglide for the alpha area. Okay, I forgot to turn off the solder. So I don't know if my solder went bad recently because I forgot to like turn off it for a session and it just kept turned on for maybe 1 hour, 2 hours. I don't even know how long it get turned on. So totally my bad. But I wish they have a way to tell you like, oh, your keyboard was not keyboard, your solder was not turned off over an hour. But that's not smart enough. Yeah, but always you can get a newer tip. That's how the solder can last really longer because it has exchangeable parts. Yeah, I feel like for this price, like $100, I should be able to set auto timer that if I don't really use, I mean, first it should be able to detect I'm not using it. That's like the one part I wish it can do. Then the second is if I didn't really use it for a while, then it should auto turn. So I won't say it's really going bad, but sometimes I feel like it's not getting the solder that easier, just like less easily than previously. So maybe I should try to get a new solder tip. I mean, they are not that expensive either, so I should be able to cover the damage I made. But so far, besides that, it's working well. I can still do all the solder job without problem. I just need to kind of like tin the tip more frequently, which sometimes I feel like maybe I just didn't do enough. I probably should always tin them every other switch soldering. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to say like whether you should get a $100 one because we are not doing very fancy job anyway. Like it's just keyboard soldering. So the $30 could even work without doubt. Yeah, I don't really use tip tinner. I just tin the tip using the solder. But sometimes I just like solder the whole row without tinning that, because I feel like I'm providing the solder all the time when I'm soldering, so it's fine. But maybe I should clean that, I should tin that time to time. Yeah, okay, rest assured. I think I did enough soldering that I feel like I should be able to tell whether it goes bad or not. And I really like that I can do Millmax socket. It feels like enable another technique that's superpower on this hobby. Unless every possibility on the key layout can go on the hot swap PCB. For example, usually you can already go the split backspace on a PCB, on a hot swap PCB. So you want to like Millmax that. But I think the recent example of what's that called? EK68 Aurora, that actually can do both regular backspace and also the, what's the other one? Split backspace. Yeah, they can do it all together. Although maybe they are not like right aligned together. Yeah, if you just tune in the stream and finding I have different switch on alpha and mods, it's totally by design because I want to test different switch, and for NK Silk Yellow they are desoldered, so I don't want to put them on the Millmax socket I already put on the alpha area. Okay, most likely all we left is putting this PCB into the case and do the typing test. So I need to get everything organized. So I will need to clean up this solder mat and also wash my hands. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. And this is the most exciting part of assembling and the put keycaps on. yeah, I think your idea definitely contributes. Like, you don't need to stick into one specific switch if you know what you are doing, right? Okay, so just again recap, we have this top case with all the gasket on, and this is power-on gasket. And in the production version, you probably will be including a silicone gasket as well. So if you want a little bit firm gasket, you can do that, and it will be recommended for the PC plate. And if it were just the regular plate like aluminum, brass, FR4, if you get custom made, do we have others? Yeah, I don't think we have others. So like firm plate, you can use the power-on, and for this PC plate, you probably want to get just the silicone one. And then we will clamp the bottom case, and then we will insert that one. So yeah, so for POM, I know we probably can go P3D and ask Jake to do that. I really trust him. And for FR4, I will try to use the plate file that I secretly get from Jackie to do like small, like not private group run, but just overall, like try myself and see if that works. I can just sell at cost for the community run, and then if I can run the next one, people can just support and we can run one. So I have this prototype to test. That will be exciting to use. And for POM, it really matters whether the manufacturer can provide some adjusting so that it can fit different switches, because you know, when you cut the POM plate, it could shrink so that maybe it won't fit all the switches. So you have the FR4 on the racing group by case, you just build, and it really works well, or no? Yeah, I think the sound will be nice, but depends on whether the plate file is legit or not. The compatibility could be the problem. So it's always fail and hit or miss. I mean, I totally agree FR4 plate is the best sounding one based on my preference. But it may not be the best looking if you have a PC case, because it could shine through whatever underneath. That's why a lot of PC case will try to get a brass plate, so it shows a little bit premium feeling, but the typing feeling could not be the perfect if you were trying to use a linear switch. But if you were trying to use the tactile, the brass plate is perfect. Okay, so let's see whether we have the right alignment. Okay, so I think we have a little bit off, so I probably want to untighten a little bit, then move the case a little bit. And I think that's the problem that the earlier prototype had exposed, and with some alignment tab, it will get much better overall. So right now I just need to make sure I can get right alignment and screws together. So yeah, you can definitely feel like you can slide, and I want to slide to the right spot so that when I screw them in, they are perfectly aligned. Okay, let's feel again. Okay, this is getting better. So the production unit will have the alignment help. I don't know if it's alignment pin or alignment tab, but it will try to avoid this problem from happening again. But worst case, you know what? Just unscrew, untighten a little bit and tighten it again. And you were already spending 2 hours building the keyboard. Another 2 minutes to align it won't be a huge problem. I mean, I wish they already solved the issue so you don't need to spend these 2 minutes, but this is not end of the world. It's not like you're getting a plate that you can not even use your switch. That will be the worst thing. So this is the least concern I will have for a case, which is just like alignment. Okay, so this is how everything looks together. And remember, the production unit won't have the green PCB, so it won't look green. And also the tail weight, it won't look teal. So these two will be definitely changed as well. And we can kind of like test the flex. So you can see like on the top row or the corner, they are pretty flex. And especially the top right corner and the arrow key. Yeah, I think with the tab, yeah, that's actually next to it, and it's probably because of the prong gasket being soft, so it has pretty much a huge flex here. It's preference. Sometimes people like it, so it's about whether you like or not and which gasket material you want to do. Okay, so let's just do one more via test before we put the keycaps on. And let me just map. Did I already map everything? Yeah, I just don't want the mute button on the top right corner. Well, it's fine. Just mute. So that's the Hyperglide, and that's not from the GB. That's from my friend who got from Malaysia vendor. So he actually bought extra. Okay, so the keycaps choice today. So because of the Artisan keycaps I win over last weekend, there's Sojo Domio. I will probably choose the Ursa because of the green color. Yeah, we are probably the last people who get the Hyperglide, but you know what, my friend were also on that group buy, so that's why he's eager to get additional ones. And I don't know if it will turn out to be good. Okay, so for this Sojo Domio from Bowie, look how cute it is. So this is the Domio, so it's the second series Bowie is doing. Yeah, I think I like it, and I win a Burberry last night, so that was like okay. unmute. Yeah, I really like it. So cute. I cannot unsing it. And I don't know whether it will match the Ursa or not, but we will try. And I don't really have the novelty kit and the spacebar kit, so I will just use the shift key. Actually, let me check if I have enough shift, because if I don't have, I probably shouldn't use this keycap set at all. So Ursa base kit, do we have second 2.25U? Okay, so looks like we have enough shift key to cover. So let's see whether this would be good. And I need to unbox this one. So this is totally sealed today. Hello, yes, the Domio looks really nice. Let me see if I can focus on that. Yeah, I haven't opened this one yet. So this will be my unboxing session as well. Yeah, it's a brand new unboxing on stream. Yeah, I tend to open it until I really need it. To be honest, I don't know if there will be any problem on the key set, but I think I bought from vendor, so I can still get any aftermarket support. Yeah, I try not to buy from aftermarket because I know you will basically lose the aftermarket, the customer support. And there were people in the Zumpon Discord saying like they don't want to open the set, but can they get replacement of the F13 key if there were a problem? And the answer is basically, if you don't open the set, how do you know it has a problem? And they're saying like, yeah, it will lower the value of the keycaps. Yeah, that's how it kind of works. Well, let's see how the green looks. Yeah, it's different shade green, but I got a Domio. I say I won't use this Ursa. Doesn't really matter. Okay, I always had trouble on like what keycaps to put on Alice layout. I didn't. It will be a long search session. I think when I'm trying to get the extra from Cornell, it's out of stock. I bet it's probably running out of stock faster than the base kit. Like people who forget to get the novelty at the first time, if they don't really get the base kit, they probably will get novelty for sure. So it will be another search session or trade session that I need to find good keycaps to trade, because I still don't want to buy from, you know, Mac Market directly. I want to just trade. Yeah, thank you. If you find any, let me know. Even, yeah, I probably will buy if it's reasonable price, but I haven't looked at what the price should be. No. Yeah, I just feel like for this set, you need the novelty to really fill in the spirit. And I definitely won't have enough B, so I will just use the 00. and I'm split backspace user, so the backspace is right here, and there goes my mod color gray. Okay, so we have the up left corner, page up, page, not page up. Okay. Page up, page down. And how many escape do we need? Okay, I know why you need Artisan, because it's hard to know which keycaps to put here, and Artisan will be easy choice. Shift the focus on the top row. Yeah, I feel like putting the keycaps feels like therapy. Yeah, I really like the color, how the color turns out. So we end up using the Hyperglide MX Black for the alpha because I remember my silk yellow were desoldered, so I don't want to use them on the Millmax socket. And I haven't typed the Hyperglide on a PC plate, so we'll see how that sounds. Okay, so we need the flipped shift for the spacebar. I just don't have enough spacebar. Yeah, I think for this set, now after I'm using that, I feel like I need to get those keys. The spacebar kit and also the novelty kit. Okay, so remember I didn't really test the mods, the stabilizers, so it could be some unpleasant sound, so bear with that. Yeah, flip the shift key actually feels nice when you are using on Alice layout. Like for the regular spacebar, it's okay, but flip the shift feels also nice. Okay, so this is somehow done with our Ursa and also the Domio. Okay, let me try to focus better. So the side profile, and again the back. Yeah, I think the beer with the Bowie Artisan and also the Ursa keycaps is just a really nice theme altogether. Okay, you know the drill. Okay, I still need to get used to the Alice layout, so I'm not sure how well I can type on that. It's okay if you don't like it, it's our preference. Like, it's about different set preference. Okay, I need to get the veer. Yeah, I don't think I have the enough backspace mapped yet, so it will be super scuffed if I have backspace not mapped correctly. Where's my veer? Okay, it finally turned on. So for this one, it should be the backspace. Okay, cool. So monkey type. And let's hear the sound. So this be a 65% prototype built with the Hyperglide on the alpha area, and the keycaps were GMK Ursa, and it's built with the PC plate. Okay. Let's see. I was on different input method. And the mod sound. Okay, remember all the mods were NK Silk Yellow, so they probably sound very different than Alpha. And Alpha sound. Yeah, and if you want to hear the different sound of Hyperglide and NK Silk Yellow, so these are the Hyperglide, and these are the silk yellow. And Hyperglide, silk yellow. Yeah, you can definitely feel like the silk yellow are higher pitched, while the Hyperglide sounds actually really nice. Yeah, I definitely need to tune on the spacebar a little bit more. Yeah, I don't know if this is because of the position or just because of the switch. I feel a little bit like scratch, so it could be the stabilizers, could be just the switch. Let's try to change the switch to another JWK to see if it's getting better. I didn't swap the spring, so it's still the 63.5 gram for the silk yellow. And let's see if we have other switches here that I can use. Oh, I actually have some pillows, so I can put on the spacebar to see how they sound differently. Okay, let's see. Yeah, feels like it's scratching. Is that scratching the case? Or just like in general the stabilizers? Yeah, maybe try not flip. That's a good way, because it could be it didn't design for flipped. But also I didn't really test the stabilizers because I know I should be able to have a time to test. Yeah, I still feel like it's scratching the case. Yeah, so left side, it's better. The right side definitely scratching. So maybe, okay. Yeah, so when this plate didn't really have an alignment pin and I'm using this one, I could try to find the spacebar. Let me try to find one. Let me get the kitty cat spacebar to see if that's different. And if I still cannot, I can get another spacebar from my other keycaps. So this is the cat spacebar. Okay, yeah, the sound was gone. Okay, let's also try the left. with the kitty cat. So the final production build have plate alignment. Yes, it will. So it won't have this problem on like, okay, you need to like adjust so that it won't hit. Okay, so left side. And right side. And because the right side spacebar is longer, so it sounds a little bit louder than the left one. But at least it won't hit the case. And it may be the problem of the shift key being different shape of spacebar. So let me try to find my spacebar kit from my Olivia so that I can kind of test whether this is the problem of the shift key only or it's a problem of GMK. So be right back. Yeah, hopefully in the production version, even you are using shift key won't be the problem, but let's try this one. So I got the extension kit from Olivia that I have the white spacebar. Are they the same white? Well, they are close enough that I cannot really tell. So maybe I should be able to just use this one for the time being. Let me check if I have. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, actually in real life I cannot really tell the difference of these two. Yeah, maybe I should check what's the Ursa GMK IC, whether they have the code of the color. Maybe they have the same color as Olivia that I don't need to find the spacebar. Anyone know the code color of that? Yeah, while I'm streaming, my computer is definitely slower. So the color code CP and Olivia GMK IC. Yeah, so the noise could be just because of that. I should check Olivia Plus Plus because I know Olivia Plus Plus have that color code on its IC. Yeah, let me see if I can show the window capture. Chrome. Yeah, so this is Olivia. And you can see the color GMK CP. And you know what's GMK CP? It's actually the color code of a white that GMK is running, and there are plenty of white that you could find on different keycap set. So you have CP, WS1, and also WS2, so different white means different thing. And on this one, GMK Olivia runs GMK CP as their white. And look at GMK Ursa, it's also CP. That means the spacebar I have here for Olivia light works for this keycaps. So it's definitely a good way of getting one spacebar kit for the other set. So CP here, CP here, nice. And you know what? I also have the GMK DMG. Oh no, not DMG, actually GMK Bingsu. And for Bingsu, I also don't have any backspace. And is that the GMK GB thread? So Bingsu also use GMK CP as the white. So basically I have this GMK Olivia spacebar kit. Not really spacebar kit, I have the extension kit. This will work for both Bingsu and Ursa. So I think I bought it correctly. And this is a magic that if you know the color code of those keycaps, you don't really need to buy too many GMK spacebar kit. So this one works. And let's hear it again. Mod sounds. Okay, yeah, so I think this one, let's just do one more typing test. So we can end the stream. If you don't want to end the stream, I have another board to assemble. Okay, let's type again. Yeah, I definitely feel like it's really long, but when I type on this one, if you get used to it, you probably don't really need wrist rest because your like hand just naturally sit on this keyboard with some typing angle. So this is definitely good. And luckily I got the Olivia's extension kit. I can use this spacebar kit, so I don't really have the scratchiness. But let's try again to see what caused this scratchiness. Is this the sound of different shape for this 27U, 2.75U? Yeah, I definitely still hear the same thing. So for this prototype, unless I can maybe try to adjust the placement, like pushing it a little bit higher. Yeah, let's see if it will get better. Okay, yes. Okay, if you don't really have alignment, it might sound weird, but if you try to like push a little bit higher, it's fine. Okay, so short answer, if you have the spacebar kit, use that. So you probably won't have this issue. And long answer is we have to wait until the production version running, so we know that. Cool, thank you for tuning in the stream, and we got this keyboard built with the Hyperglide and turns out really good sounding, and I feel like it's really good typing on. And I will kind of love this keyboard and use this for a while. And also I will try different switch for you guys, so I will probably make the video of this and provide a list of potential switches I can use, and we can vote on the Discord server. Cool, I should be wrapping up the stream, and see you guys